Welcome back to Barbecue with Greg. Let's put that meat on the grill. Let's get started. Well, hello there, barbecue friends. Today, got a cold November day. A little snow coming down, but perfect day to fire up the Masterbuilt here. We're going to use a rotisserie attachment in here. We're going to be cooking up a pork blade roast. Now, I'll take this cook step by step, show you what I'm doing. Let's get this on. Then I'm going to use my instant fire cups here to get it going. Yeah, I find these instant fire cups the best to get this grill going. Now the space that's provided through Masterbuilt to light the charcoal is very small and this doesn't fit. And I made a little bracket underneath because this gets a nice tall flame and it lights this perfectly every time. I could leave a link in the description with that video if you're interested. All right, gonna fill that charcoal hopper up. Put my instant fire cup in there. Light that up. This is gonna light up that charcoal similar to your chimney starter on any other grill. All right, while that's lighting up, let's get our meat ready. All right, I got the Masterbuilt plugged in. I got my rotisserie part plugged in. Power this up. Pull the slides out. I forget to do that a lot. Then we'll set our grill temperature here. Open up my Masterbuilt app here. And I can go ahead and set the temperature. I think I'm going to go 300 degrees on this cook. Just click that on. Now I can monitor what my grill temperature is through my phone, so I don't always have to be outside. Close our hopper door here. Now let's work on the meat. All right. I got this pork blade roast from my local butcher, Medell Brothers. Now I was looking for something to throw on the rotisserie. I saw this in the meat counter. Look at it all tied up like that. I figured this would be the beautiful cut to throw on the rotisserie. Now here's the rotisserie rod from the Masterbuilt. Now I did use this once to do some chickens, but I didn't get it on video. But you can see how nicely it cleans up. All stainless steel. This rod is actually like a 1/2 inch thick, so it's a little thicker than your normal spit rod you'd have on your rotisserie. A lot more strength. All right, so I'm just going to try to center this out. Force the way through here, through this meat. Come out the other side, just like that. Then I'll put the other end on. Get that into there, like that. Here, tighten this up. All right, here we have it. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to use some Frank's Red Hot here as a binder. Now this is going to mild rate out as the cook goes on. It's just going to add that little bit of flavor there to it. Nice generous amount. Now you can see I like working over the bowl here, so I can just rotate the meat to season it. Now I'm going to use the Money Rub here from Paradise Pepper Company. Just love this stuff, especially on pork. Nice, again, nice generous amount on there. And get the ends here. Then I'm going to use the Cherry Bomb from Paradise Pepper Company. Now, I'm not a sponsor or anything for Paradise Pepper Company, but they sent this to me and I just love it. There, I'd say that's ready for the grill. There, the grill reached temperature here. I got an aluminum drip pan that I just shaped to the heat manifold, so it sit right on top of there. That'll catch any of those drippings coming down. There, now we're gonna slide the rotisserie into the motor end. Make sure you pushes in there all the way. Set that end on there. Now I'm going to use a meter probe to monitor the interior temperature of this. All right, just like that. Let's close the lid. Now I just got to set the cook here on my meter app. All right, it's recommending a finished cook of 203. We'll go with that. Okay, this cook's going to take a few hours here to get that temperature just right. This is one of those cuts of meat that's low and slow to get it nice and tender. Now the benefit of buying at my local butcher like that, for one, I get that nice cut of meat that's all tied up. Usually you'll find a pork blade roast and it's pretty small. This is 2 to 3 times the size of what you would buy in your local grocery store. If you go to your local butcher, he's also going to know what temperatures and how to cook a specific cut of meat that you're buying. The good thing about cooking this roast on a rotisserie, we're going to get a even cook all the way around. We're going to get an even crust on the outside of that roast all the way around. And it's just going to keep based in its own juices as it cooks. So I'll bring you back periodically, show you what I'm doing. I'll see you in a little while. All right, we're now roughly 2 hours into this cook. I'll show you what I'm doing. What I did, I added a grill grate to this side. I prepared some butternut squash and some sweet potatoes. Here I just rinsed off the squash and the sweet potatoes. For the squash, I cut the ends off, cut them in half, then remove the seeds. Place this on the grill. There we have it. Nice to have the grill and the rotisserie going at the same time, so that our meat's coming along nicely here. It's nice to be able to have that grill in there as well as the rotisserie. We'll bring you back when we do the next step. All right, our pork blade roast has now been on here for about 3 hours. Our squash and our potatoes been on for 1 hour. What I'm going to do at this point, just going to rotate the potatoes back here. Then I'm going to rotate the squash to be skin side down. Then I'm going to add some butter inside our squash. And take some brown sugar, sprinkle it on there, just like that. Before we close it back up, let's take a closer look in. All right, you can see the roast is coming along real nice. I think I gotta tighten my thumb screws there. All right, so I tightened the thumb screws. You can see our squash here. We'll sure these are going to be done before the roast here, but we'll take these off when they're done. We'll let this continue cooking. I'll bring you back for the next step. Okay, our squash and potatoes have now been on here for about 2 hours. We're going to remove those from the grill. All right, I got the oven in the house on its lowest setting. I'm going to put this in the oven until our meat's ready. Speaking of our meat, look how delicious this is looking. Not quite done yet. We're only at a temperature of about 175. So we'll just let this keep going and I'll bring you back when this is done. Well, we are now roughly 6.5 hours into this cook. My meter probe is now telling me this is done. Just the smell from stepping outside out to here, the whole air smells so delicious. It's time to pull this off the grill. But first, I want to bring you in real close, take a close look at see what we got. Just look at this beauty. Like I say, nice even cook all the way around. All those juices are coming out, just basting itself as it cooks. All right, pull this off the grill. Put this on our bowl here. Just look how delicious this looks. Well, I'm going to bring this in the house. I'm going to let it rest. I'm going to pull it apart. I'll make up a nice plate with some squash and sweet potato. I'll show you that. I'll take a picture of that and show you after. But first, we got to take a bite out of this. Pull some of this off. Oh my gosh. That is so delicious. Oh wow. Well, pork blade roast, it's a relatively inexpensive cut of meat. With a little time and the help of the rotisserie here on the Masterbuilt, we created a beautiful cut of meat here. Just so tasty. Well, if you enjoyed this video, I appreciate you give me a thumbs up. And you want to see more cooks like this, click that subscribe. And we'll see you next time on Barbecue with Greg.
Thanks for watching Barbecue with Greg, one of those barbecue cooking shows people watch on YouTube sometimes.